Inform.com and BMRodds.com, boys. Another week, another episode of The Lobby. Episode number 102.
Hmm.
102. I can't believe we've been doing this for 102 episodes already. It's amazing to me. But as always, each and every week, and a big shout out real fast to Pipe. Haven't heard much from you lately, Pipe. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you can join this wonderful cast here on the show. And that's a shout out to anyone who wants to come on the show. If you got something you want to talk about, sports related or not, feel free, shoot me a private message. We'd love to have you on. But each and every week we have Mr. Donnie Rightside. What's up, Donnie?
Yeah, feeling good. Baseball season now, first week of April. Hopefully it starts to get warmer here in the Northeast, but some good times here. A lot of afternoon baseball today, only a couple night games tonight where you're wondering if the Dodgers will ever lose. And at the same time, will the Braves ever win a baseball game on that end of it? But the Final Four this weekend. So a lot of good stuff on deck here before we start to hit that sort of slowdown before the NBA playoffs. And then we ramp right back up again.
Yes, it's definitely a good time. And moving right along, the man who looks high as fuck. Sammy, how many bowls
He's
did you
enjoying his
smoke
day.
before this broadcast?
Just a few, enjoying the day off. Sold 21 cars last month, so first day off. in a
21.
couple weeks.
Congratulations.
So,
Yeah.
just had to relax, watch some tennis, win some money, and enjoy the nighttime of games.
Nice. Awesome. And last but not least, the man who is at Circus Sports, Mr. Reload.
Yeah, outside here at Stadium Swim, it's getting to be the time of year, poolside time at
Yes,
Vegas.
it's 80,
The,
85 degrees out. Going to be
yeah,
going up to 100, 105 during the summer. I'm not looking forward to that.
yeah. At least now it's still not too hot yet, and
Exactly.
Circa, just hired all the new cocktail servers for the summer. Nice photo shoot the other day, and looking to sell some cabanas for the Final Four is what it looks like. And what better way to watch both of those games than outside at the pool in a cabana with the big screens?
Exactly right. But Sammy, let's jump in right to you with some baseball. I know there's some afternoon games, but how you been doing so far on them, and what do you got in the nightcaps?
Yeah, in reference to baseball, just what Donnie said, you got to follow the teams that haven't lost yet. Kind of follow that trend right now, which are the Dodgers and the Padres. The Padres are playing right now, but they were, at this point, they're going to get juicier, and the Dodgers might be favored in 162 games this year. And, in some of those series, they're going to be -3, -4,
Yep.
-500. So the value might not be their money line, depending on where you don't want to go at. Baseball is pretty dangerous when it comes to that level. Some people won't play above -150 or -120, let alone -235. Padres are -180. And then you got to throw the torpedo bat Yankees in there, -136.
Oh.
Yankees lost their first game yesterday, but, bounce back game. Don't give up grand slams in the top of the eighth. Get a couple more home runs and keep those bats hot.
Did you mentioned torpedo bats, Sam? Let's segue into that for a second. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, they are MIT, Harvard, graduate approved, physics or scientific approved. And other players and other teams are using them now. So, don't blame the trendsetter. I'm surprised the Houston Astros haven't been more vocal against it based on their hatred towards the Yankees and their scandals from, the
World
8
Series,
years ago
yeah.
with the garbage can calls and signals and everything. But yeah, the torpedo bats are working, and we'll see what success. I love the media. I love the memes that come from it as well. My favorite, I think, is the one with like the wiffle bat after that. That one was pretty funny.
Reload, let's jump over to you. Daily baseball on deck, and then briefly touch on this whole bat situation for me.
Yeah, well, kind of like basketball. It's funny. Sammy and I are always on opposite sides here. I'm going to take the Diamondbacks tonight +120, and so we were on opposite sides. He always took the Knicks, and I always took whoever they were playing. It seemed. Now here we are with the same thing with the Yankees. And I grew up a Yankees fan. I've been to Yankee Stadium probably 5-6 times. But there's usually, if you find the right spots, there's value to go against them. And I think this is one here. I think Diamondbacks, Gallen's back on the mound. Didn't have a great opening day start, but gave up some 4 early runs, I think. But I look for some improvement here, and I think the Diamondbacks are a live dog. I think the win last night will give them some swagger here. And as far as the torpedo bats, it's interesting. The only thing I wonder with it though, like why didn't the Yankees wait until later in the season, like when the playoffs were hitting or something like that, when it would matter more and it would give the other teams less time to adjust? Why break them out in the first week and now everyone's talking about it and everybody's going to adjust, and then by then everybody else starts using them. So I don't know what drove them to use them this early. That's all I wonder about.
Now, reload real quick. New Yankee Stadium or old Yankee Stadium?
I've only been to the new one once ever, and that was last year. Last season, I saw a Yankees-Dodgers game. But when I was much younger, I went probably about 5 times to the old stadium.
All righty, awesome.
Yeah, I saw Billy Martin. That's back in the Billy Martin managing days. I think I saw Billy Martin manage once. I saw a Yankees-Mets game once there, and it went to like 10 innings.
Oh, wow.
Sat in the bleachers for 10 innings. It was 0-0, I think, going into the 10th on a hot day. Can you imagine what that was like sitting there?
Hey. And thank you. And last but not least, Donnie, over to you. A little baseball and a little bat talk. What do you got?
Yeah, a couple games tonight. Again, most of these games have already been playing right now, rooting on some RBI props there in the Mets game. Pete Alonso already grabbed one, which was nice. But a 7:05 start, as we were talking about, Arizona and the New York Yankees. Cold temperatures. The Bronx tonight, low 40s, wind blowing in from right field. So stark contrast to what we're seeing with Yankees baseball over the past weekend when they were bopping home runs left and right in 80 degrees with a wind blowing out. It's hard to take the unders in Yankee Stadium. You even saw it yesterday. Late comeback there for Arizona, really got after the Yankees bullpen. I'm going to go under 8 runs in that game. I think, 2 decent pitchers on the mound, colder temperatures, wind blowing in, cools the bats off just a bit. Game number 2 out late, 8 p.m. tonight. It's actually a 5:30 start out on the West Coast between Atlanta and the Dodgers. Atlanta can't score any runs. I mean, Blake Snell's on the mound. So if you pencil in the Braves for 3 runs maximum today, maybe the Dodgers can get 5 around that total. 8.5 is the under in that one. I'm sitting on the under in the Atlanta Braves and the Dodgers game. If we take a look also, Ohtani, Betts, and Hernandez each to get a base hit tonight. I think they do some damage against Elder, but I think Snell is really good. So some offense for the Dodgers, which is good, but the game total stays under 8.5. And I love the torpedo bats. They were actually around a little bit last year, but didn't have that big fanfare where all of a sudden the Yankees popped up and the Yankees get a lot of attention and they hit a ton of home runs. Look at these bowling pins they're using at bats. I love it. Any way that somebody can abuse the system to score more runs, you sign me up right away. Because you don't find me going under his RBI props, under their home run props, under their team totals. That ain't it, Jack. Give me more hits, more runs, more home runs. I love it. Thank you, Yankees. Hopefully everybody gets the torpedo bat. All
righty, Donnie. Thank you. Sammy, let's jump over to you for a little bit of tennis talk. How's the threat looking?
Yeah, so tennis, we have now moved to clay court season. Just finished Miami Open. Sabalenka won that tournament over there. And so I did finish up strong in the weekend. Ended up plus 242 in Miami. And on the season, just under 4 units. Women are in Charleston, Monte Carlo for the men's Action Master 1000. It's 6 weeks, then a Grand Slam, then right into grass season. So not as much men action this week. The women have the big tournament, and then the men basically start next week.
All righty, awesome. Thank you, Sammy. We know how much you love that men action. But poker event number 4, guys, is going to be coming up this Thursday. A little bit of new date. We're going to switch up a little bit, see if we can get more players involved. A little midweek poker action. So please make sure you sign up. The more, the merrier. But Donnie, let's jump over to you. A little NBA. What do you got tonight?
Yeah, the NBA card is a mess tonight. I think there's 2 games under double-digit spreads, and the key part about that is one game is like 9.5. So good luck with those. I mean, it's a wild night. It's the haves and the have-nots. So I'm just going to pick on one team with a decent team that's going to make the playoffs. It's the Miami Heat, but the starting lineup tonight: Hero, Burks, Larson, Adebayo, and Ware going up against the Boston Celtics in Boston. I'll go double edge here. -10 Boston Celtics over 211.5. But boy, handicapping is an absolute landmine right now until we get to the playoffs in the NBA. Every night is a disaster where you have no idea who's playing, motivation on any teams, ridiculous. Like 17.5. Like the Clippers are favored by almost 18 points tonight against a team that we don't even know is going to have a normal starter in that lineup. It's wacky. It's wild. I'll take the Celtics tonight and the over in that game.
All righty, Donnie. Thank you. Reload over to you. NBA. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, I agree with Donnie. There are a lot of games on the board tonight, but I couldn't find much. I zeroed in on one game, which is the Pistons Thunder game. And I do like Detroit plus the 13.5. Open 14, some early steam on the Pistons. The Thunder have been a cashing machine, no question. I mean, wow, I've gotten burned so many times going against them. But I do think they're just a little too overvalued here. Detroit won 3 in a row, had that snapped on Sunday, Minnesota. So they're off a loss coming into this one. They also played a close game with Oklahoma City a couple of weeks ago. And I think 13.5 is too high here. So I am going with the Pistons plus 13.5. That's the one and only play tonight. Wish I could find more.
All righty. Thank you, Reload. And Sammy, NBA, besides the Knicks, what do you got?
No, actually, you got to go up against the Knicks tonight. They don't have anyone starting, like Donnie said.
Wow.
Tonight's a night that basically,
Brutal,
separates guys like Reload and Donnie, professionals that are picking their spots, and an action guy. Here's what you do. All these favorites that are playing today, you take 8 out of the 9. So you take 8 favorites, money line parlay, and it plays plus 155. So that's what you do. You just take all the favorites in a money line parlay, take it at plus odds, and hope that all the favorites just come through like they're supposed to.
Wow.
If only it were that simple.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Like
Let's see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow if that strategy actually works. Donnie, let's jump over to you. We got the finals of March Madness, Florida and Auburn on Saturday, and then Houston and Duke Saturday evening. Let's break down these two matchups. What do you like?
Yeah, I had chalk all the way through in the tournament. So my Final Four, my brackets all had all number ones, which is crazy. And you think, you're like, man, that's not going to happen. But I just thought all 4 of those 1 seeds were the best 4 teams in the NCAA tournament. And here they are. And as we talk about the NBA with high spreads, we don't get that right now. -2.5, Florida's a favorite over Auburn. Game number 2, -4.5, Duke against Houston. 2 fantastic ball games. It seems to me, to be honest, and again, the betting line's reflective. Florida -2, like Auburn came in as the top seed. Really good basketball team.
Right.
But if their top player, Janai sits, I don't think he's going to sit out. Hasn't practiced yet this week. I know it's only Wednesday, but you saw him get injured last week going up against Michigan State where he hurt the elbow. If he's not 100%, I love Florida in this game at -2.5. Florida can beat them with him, Janai Smith, healthy or not at this point. But for my money, if I'm going to get a full-strength Florida team coming in this weekend with great guard play, they're 2 really good teams, don't get me wrong. I'm taking Florida all day long. He has to be extremely healthy on that low block and be able to grab rebounds. And if he can't be as physical, advantage to the Florida Gators. Game number 2, Houston and Duke, -4.5. I do think Duke wins that, but I'm a little apprehensive at betting. The one thing I do agree with, though, the 136.5 is the total, dropping to 135.5. 2 unbelievably good offenses and defenses, but not a lot of tempo is going to be played in that game. And understand this, maybe an advantage for the Houston Cougars. Last 2 games they played, Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, was at Lucas Oil Stadium, a giant dome. Where are we playing the Final Four? In a dome in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. Duke hasn't seen that before, so maybe an advantage first half for Houston, who's going to say, we'll defend the 3-point line, but we'll let you shoot it. If they're not going down for the Duke Blue Devils, we might be in for a rock fight in this one. Under for me in the second game, Florida for me -2.5 in the first game.
All righty, Donnie, thank you. Reload, over to you. College basketball Final Four. What do you got this weekend?
Yeah, I like those leans from Donnie too. I am going to take a bit of a different approach though. My lean in the first game, Florida-Auburn, would be to take Florida. I did think there was more value with the over though. I think if you like Florida to win, I think the octane will be pretty high. And it's rare for me to take an over, but the total's gone down 2 points. So it's sitting at 159.5. And it's rare for me to take an over. You think me taking a favorite is rare. Me taking an over is even more rare. I don't think I've taken an over all year on this show. So over 159.5. I'm going to go that way as, I think maybe down the stretch it could start being a toss-up. And then the second game, Houston and Duke, I do like Houston plus the points. It went up as high as 5.5. It's now sitting back at 4.5. Still a good buy at 4.5. One good point that I saw was that, Houston actually got eliminated by Duke last time around. And I do think Houston is a little more battle tested with the way the tournament's gone, like the game They played in Indiana with Purdue. Not easy to get past that one and survive. And Duke's kind of breezed through a little bit more than them. So I think Houston's going to play kind of a scrappy game, a hard-fought game here. I would take the under, but I do think the value is with Houston to take the points, and I'm going that way.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. And last but not least, Sammy, what do you got?
Yeah, so in reference to the Final Four, I'm in a good spot because from a March Madness bracket pool scenario, I am live in all three of my bracket pools.
Nice.
I have Duke over Auburn in some. I have Florida over Houston in another. I have Auburn winning one. So pretty much any scenario, I should be cashing somewhere as far as the brackets go. But then as far as gambling goes, I'm going to go with my first bracket, which I'm in for the most, which I like the best, which is Duke over Auburn. So if I do that parlay and just take Auburn money line, Duke money line, that's going to pay at plus 215. So that's where I'm going to go. Definitely a little bit more on Duke. So if Auburn does lose that first game, I'll definitely bet a second time on Duke over Houston, and then take Duke over whoever in the finals.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. And Donnie, last but not least, let's jump over to you. Quick NFL story coming out of the news today. Hawkeye computer technology. The NFL predicts it's going to save between 30 to 40 seconds. I mean, a computer is only so good. I still think you need that eye as well.
Absolutely.
Look, I like the chains. I really do, because I think it adds drama when it's a really close play and the chains do come out.
Right.
Sort of takes the drama away. And also, if you don't think, because the technology for the Hawkeye is there, we get that. But again, it's not in exact science or inexact science either way. Like the chain gang does a really good job where you place the metal down right in the middle of the yard marker. So it's within about an inch or two on the home sideline, whereas the one that's usually, or the visitor sideline, I usually say, which is the official one. And also understanding, you don't think us conspiracy theorists are like this? Of course they gave the Chiefs the first down when it was close. There, because now at least we see it. And it's like, you can't really cheat the stick itself per se. When you're going to say like the biggest first down of the game on a quarterback sneak, it's like, yep, Hawkeye technology said yes. People are going to lose their mind. So I do like it because technology is here. And by the way, Major League umpires, you want to just use a robo strike zone? I'm here for it as well. We have the technology. So technology usually makes things better, but I can see the people hemming and hawing over, you got to be kidding me with that. Oh, the computer said it was correct.
Sammy, over to you. What do you think?
Why do you think tennis is the best sport right now, right? It's the best sport to watch. It's because Hawkeye, it's because we don't have to worry about the variable of the line court. And if they want to challenge the call, it's done in a matter of seconds and they move on to the next point. We don't have to wait 7 minutes for any call. If it's out of bounds at the 2 minute and 1 second mark, we don't need to review it at the 1 minute and 59 second mark just because they have the ability to do so. The Hawkeye is the way to go. It's the RoboCop is the way to go. Like, I'm sorry, the Robo for all these years it was necessary, but now we have the technology. The technology is faster, it's accurate, and it moves the game a lot quicker. So it is the right way to go. I am super happy for it, and that's why tennis is one of the best sports to watch, because they don't have all that dead time and wasted time.
Reload, over to you. Your thoughts on the chain gang going bye-bye.
Yeah, I think that it's just the age that we're in, as time has gone on, we started with replay and all that. Even, we saw with baseball, they're having the
video
computer
umpire,
call the balls and strikes. They're starting a little bit more of that too. So now it's coming into football more. I think it's a good idea. I don't think it's going to speed the game up a whole lot, but it does take some of the drama of just deciding, well, is it really a first down or not? You look at things like the live betting. If you follow that closely enough, it's amazing how much the live odds suddenly change the minute it's not a first down when by the eye you think it was. So everyone just runs for cover the other way with the odds and all that. So why not just know what it is? And this way, hey, the sports books can probably just feed it right into their odds and know. Oh,
I'm sure they probably will.
Yeah, right away when it's a first down, they'll know the odds will be right. Yep. No one's scurrying around, and it'll just speed things up a little too. So I think it's interesting. I'd like to see maybe more of it. Whether someone got over the goal line or not, that always seems to take forever to figure out too. Out of bounds calls, things like that would be nice too.
Well, I'm sure with the technology involving, like you mentioned a second ago, Reload, I'm sure it's a matter of time before they do some of that. But thank you, gentlemen, for your insight
Mhm.
this week. Guys, best of luck on all your action on the forum. Enjoy all the games, and we will see you around.
See you.